This is my show, One Hit Wonder. Today we're going to look at Commander CODY and his Lost Planet Airmen. So, George Fahn was Commander CODY. The Lost Planet Airmen were his country rock band. They became known for non-stop shows, boogie piano, good time barroom songs. The band formed in Ann Arbor, Michigan, but the members were all from all over. The band's name was inspired by a 1950s sci-fi feature film. After several years playing bars, the band relocated to San Francisco and signed a contract with Paramount. Their debut album, Lost in the Ozone, in 1971 included their cover of Hot Rod Lincoln, a 1955 topical song written by Charlie Ryan. Star Making Machinery, a non-fiction book by Jeffrey Stokes, documents the story of Commander CODY's difficulties with Warner, who wanted the Airmen to sound like the Eagles, but they would not alter their harder-edged sound. Bill Kirchen, a rockabilly guitarist, is known a Telecaster, the Titan of the Telecaster. Titan became one of the best Tele players in the world. As of 2019, George Fahn is still touring with the Airmen with new members. He's also a sculptor and a painter and an art teacher at the University of Wisconsin. He does paintings of pop images from historic photos and portraits of famous automobiles. There have been 21 Airmen albums. Hot Rod Lincoln was their only top 10, so yes, Commander CODY and his Lost Planet Airmen qualify as one-hit wonders. And they were all from a frat band from the University of Michigan, and at one time they were a traveling troupe of 30 members. This is probably the result that Commander CODY was dealing marijuana at the time the troupe was paid with joints. Sort of thing happened like that back then, joints for, are we gonna get some joints tonight? Well, yeah, sure. You always do, don't you? In San Francisco, the Airmen fit right in. They were the first band to combine flower power with country roots. They were especially popular with cross-country truckers. Their second album was titled Hot Licks, Cold Steel, and Truckers' Favorites. When the Airmen played Nashville, they were booed off the stage to shouts of, "Get a haircut, go find a hippie show." Country fans were not amused by dopers doing their music. But this is a one-hit wonder band, so as you know, with one-hit wonder bands, I usually give you the lyrics. So this is the lyrics to Hot Rod Lincoln. Are you ready? My pappy said, "Son, you're gonna drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that Hot Rod Lincoln." Have you heard the story of the hot rod race when Fords and Lincolns were setting the pace? That story is true, I'm here to say. I was driving that Model A. I got a Lincoln motor and it's really souped up. That Model A Vitamix makes it look like a pup. It's got 8 cylinders, uses them all. It's got overdrive, just won't stall. With a 4-barrel carb and a dual exhaust, with 411 gears, you can really get lost. It's got safety tubes, but I ain't scared. The brakes are good, the tires fair. Pulled out of San Pedro late one night. The moon and the stars were shining bright. I was driving up Grapevine Hill, passing cars like they were standing still. All of a sudden, in the wink of an eye, a Cadillac sedan passed us by. And I said, boys, that's a mark for me. By then, the taillight was all you could see. Now, the fellas was ribbing me for being behind, so I thought I'd make the Lincoln unwind. Took my foot off the gas, and man alive, I shoved it on down into overdrive. Wound it up to 110, my speedometer said that I'd hit top end. My foot was blue like lead to the floor. That's all there is, and there ain't no more. Now the boys all thought I'd lost my sense. Telephone poles look like a picket fence. They said, slow down, I see spots. The lines on the road just look like dots. I took a corner, sideswiped a truck, crossed my fingers just for luck. My fenders was clicking the guardrail post. The guy beside me was white as a ghost. Smoke was coming from out of the back when I started to gain on that Cadillac. I knew I could catch him. I thought I could pass. Don't you know by then we'd be low on gas? We had flames coming out from the side. Feel the tension, man, what a ride. I said, look out boys, I got a license to fly. And that caddy pulled over and let us by. Now all of a sudden she started to knockin', and down in the dips she started to rockin'. I looked in the mirror, a red light was blinking, the cops was after my hot rod Lincoln. They arrested me and put me in jail, called my pappy to throw my bail, and he said, son, you're gonna drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln. Isn't that fun? You remember that song? It was on the radio, AM radio mostly, you know, WMCA, or Cousin Brucey on WABC, something like that, from a long time ago. Well, this is music history after all. Thanks for being with me.